Congress is kicking off their 119th session with a House Speaker vote tomorrow in Washington, D.C. President-elect Trump is backing current House Speaker Mike Johnson, but Republicans are still divided ahead of the vote. Johnson can only afford to lose one vote, and he says he spent the holidays talking to his colleagues to try to secure those.
We have the smallest margin in U.S. history. We'll have a margin of probably 2 votes tomorrow during that, so can only afford to lose 1 or 2. But I think we'll get it done. I really do, Lawrence. I've talked to every single one of those friends and colleagues over the holidays. We'll be talking about process reforms inside the House, and I've encouraged all of them, and I think the reason they're all going to vote yes is this. We're shifting into a brand new paradigm. We have unified government that begins tomorrow. We have the White House, the Senate, and the House, a totally different situation than we dealt with over the last 14 months since I've been Speaker. So we're excited to deliver on the America First agenda.
ABC News senior reporter Katherine Faulders is in West Palm Beach, Florida, along with ABC News Capitol Hill reporter Jay O'Brien for more on this. Jay, House Speaker Mike Johnson was on Fox and Friends today talking about tomorrow's vote, saying they'll get it done. So how does he plan to do that with that small of a margin? He can only lose 1 vote.
Well, as you heard him say there, Diane, he has been working the phones. He's been trying to shore up support amongst further right Republicans who some of them have said they remain skeptical as to Johnson's future leadership. There is one firm no vote at this hour, which is Thomas Massie, who's a spending hawk who has said for weeks now that he is not going to vote for Mike Johnson to be the next Speaker of the House. In our last hour, when you and I spoke, and I'm going to ask the camera to come back to me here because I have a treat for you, Macedo. You asked me to bring a whiteboard, and I did. So 434 members of the House, because Matt Gaetz expected not to show up tomorrow, which means there are 219 Republicans, 215 Democrats. Matt Gaetz won re-election, remember, but he resigned to be Donald Trump's pick for Attorney General, so he's not expected to show up tomorrow. If he does, it changes my whiteboard math, but let's just use the current math. That means, as Johnson said, that he can only afford to lose the 1 vote. That right now is Thomas Massie. Thomas Massie has said he is a firm no vote, which means if there was another no vote, and this math holds, because why can't this be fun, right? If this math holds, that means that we go to another round of balloting. Because remember, that's the procedure here. If Johnson were to lose on the first vote, which under that current math means he were to get more than 1 no vote, meaning 2 upwards no votes, that means you go into another round of balloting and you keep having ballot after ballot until somebody eventually wins. And remember, Diane, it took Kevin McCarthy 15 rounds to be the Speaker 2 years ago. Mike Johnson making a point in that Fox and Friends interview that the Republican Party is in a much different place now than Kevin McCarthy's Republican Party was after the 2022 midterms, meaning that they have unified Republican control of government, the White House, both houses of Congress, etc. But it remains to be seen if that's going to be enough to sway some of his critics.
The man not only brings the news, he brings his own props. Katherine, what do you have to counter that? You got a blackboard or something over there? A chalkboard?
I have some sailboats behind me.
A PowerPoint presentation?
Out on the boat. I don't have anything. I can't rival that. My
I mean, the
goodness,
sailboat, the view
right
is
now.
pretty nice.
She has reporting. She's the best reporter in the building. She has reporting.
So, Katherine, talk to me about this meeting between Speaker Johnson and President-elect Trump. How are they trying to strategize to get this done?
I know. I wish I had my whiteboard to lay out this strategy here. Look, we know that they had a meeting down here in Palm Beach. It was at Mar-a-Lago in person yesterday. I'm told by sources that it was a good meeting, that Johnson left feeling confident about the votes that he potentially has for Speaker. Of course, that is a sentiment that he echoed this morning. But the reality is, and as Jay laid out there are still more than a dozen undecided Republicans here. That doesn't mean they won't vote for him, but we haven't heard from them. And he can't really afford to lose many votes at all. So we do know that he will be behind closed doors today in meetings with different members trying to whip these votes, and we'll see what happens. We also know that Trump is still, of course, publicly standing by his endorsement of Johnson. He thought the meeting was productive. Of course, we will know more on this tomorrow when they take their first vote.
All right, Katherine Faulders, Jay O'Brien, thank you.